So I just watched the first two YouTube video I ever made back in 2023. And by the way, these videos are privated at the moment, but I'm glad that I have them and I have this thing in my archive that I can watch back that is me expressing my thoughts at the time. And even though it honestly is a little bit cringe to watch, even now, just looking back, I think I'm very glad because it felt like I was talking to myself. It felt like me 3 years ago were kind of going through the start of this whole journey and now 3 years later looking back to what I was thinking and my view on the future and where I am now and looking in retrospect, really, I think it is a bit of a magical experience and it kind of felt like I was having a conversation with myself. And I think that's pretty magical. At that time where I made that video in 2023, I think it was a couple of years after I graduated uni, and I think it was a period of time where I just quit my full-time architecture job, and I was pretty lost. I was going through, I think, half a year of unemployment, fun employment, and just at that time I was reaching out to a bunch of people. I was just sending emails like crazy, trying to look for any opportunities to get into the film or videography industry or photography. Just any way that I can get my foot in to experience the world. And so I ended up going to a lot of different film sets to assist and I was assisting a lot of architecture photographers and filmmakers in that space. And yeah, looking back, it was quite a formative period of my life. And the topic of those two videos I made is basically around identity crisis because I was going through it and honestly, I still am going through it. And so I think it's really interesting because I think the whole idea of identity crisis is kind of always evolving for me and my sense of self and identity always changes by the year. I feel like the more I experience, the more I know, the sometimes the more confused I get, but not in a bad way, because I feel like as humans we're always evolving and so just being conscious of the fact that you now is different from you 2 years ago and you now is also different from who you will be in 2 to 5 years time, and that is, I guess, something to be happy about, to have this thing to look forward to, but also have this reminder to cherish your present moment because this version of you will only exist in this space and you only get to really live through it once. And yeah, I think just watching back to any old videos or photos of me a couple of years back, it always brings me to this state where I I just feel a lot of emotions and I just think a lot about the time back when that photo or that video was taken and how far I've came from that. And so yeah, I think the videos were just funny because it also was a reflection. I could see the link to when when I first made my first few videos ever, and that was back in high school. And I could see kind of the style was there. There was some sort of consistencies, and that is pretty funny to me. I think just it's always in hindsight and retrospect where you can really see the dots connecting and all these different connections. And so the reason why I'm telling you this story is because I think a lot of the time when I am in the present moment and I'm struggling with motivation or I feel like I haven't created a YouTube video, like a proper YouTube video, in a long time, and I feel like my passion is kind of put aside in that sense, and the whole reality of being an adult and earning money and all that kind of stuff eventually kind of took over, and you have to get that going, to be honest. You can't just ignore your livelihood. But also, I think there's something magical in just looking back and really like understanding what your dreams are and why you started in the first place. Because a lot of the times, yeah, it's really easy to get distracted. And so just having something to remind you that it is okay if you feel like at the present moment it's hard and you're not sure where you're going. That's okay, because you a few years back probably don't know where you're going either, but you already made it this far. You already put in the time and effort in whatever ways you can to progress forward, even if you can't see what's ahead. And the fact that you're doing that by itself is already amazing, and that should be your motivation to keep going. Because if the you now can look back to yourself 3 years ago and see the progress, laugh at yourself, and enjoy it genuinely, enjoy watching these old videos of yourself, then what's to say you 3-5 years from now won't really appreciate this one video you're making in 2026, and just being able to look back. I think that is the best gift you can give to yourself. And that is also one of those things that you can kind of have this evidence of who you were, and therefore it is easier to connect dots later on in your life, where you can start to see maybe a pattern or what you were actually trying to do at that time, or what you are really passionate about and really believe in, that you right now might not be able to see, but you in the future can use whatever resource you've made for them right now, and they can use that to make their journey easier and better and understand themselves more. And all that to say, I think that is why you should, if you have been thinking about doing something, or if you specifically want to make a video, a YouTube video or Instagram, whatever, like if you wanted to make something for yourself, you really wanted to say something and record that, then do it. Like don't let the fear of your friends and your family judging you or seeing the video and laughing at you or feeling like embarrassed and cringe to stop you from recording those videos and posting them and just documenting your life. Because even though I still keep these videos privated, and maybe I will unprivate one of them, but yeah, I think that the fact is that you can eventually private these videos as well. You don't have to keep them there forever for the public to see, but at least you made that video. At least you have access to those precious nuggets of thoughts, of memories, of just your thought process. Because I think documenting your thought process is actually really important. Documenting all the messy thoughts that you don't understand and you can't organize at the time where they were conceived is really important. Because like I mentioned before, you later on can then see in hindsight what those thoughts actually mean and how they connect to all your other thoughts before that. And that in itself is something that makes up you. That is something that is, yeah, it really kind of helps with the issue of having this identity crisis and not knowing who you are, what you want to do, and all these big questions in life that you can't answer. at one point in time. I think it actually takes a lifetime to understand who we are, what we want to do, what we're passionate about, what is important to us. Because yeah, priorities changes, your preference changes, the people around you changes. Everything in life is moving and nothing is permanent, but that is also the beauty of it. And that is why you should be documenting your life right now and post that cringe video and just let it out. Let the world see that part of you. And eventually, if you want to private those videos, it's fine. I'm just making excuses for myself now. And yeah. So that is day 26 of me talking to the camera. Bye.